Hi guys, and welcome back to Gladly Global, where we talk to you about how to learn a language by yourself, how to get into it, how to properly make a plan, how to do all of that cool stuff, while also sharing with you our own journeys. So today I'm gonna be talking about Finnish, because I finally started Finnish. Moikka! I have been wanting to study Finnish for quite a long time, but I knew that I needed to spend more time on Swedish, and I didn't want to start Finnish until I felt more comfortable with Swedish in a way that I knew Swedish wouldn't disappear. Today I'm gonna be telling you how I plan to study Finnish. I'm a little bit behind because I said that I would really do a sprint in Q1 for Finnish, and Q1 is almost finished, like it's gonna be almost finished. I'm gonna be able to make a lot of those jokes. But essentially, Q1 is almost done, and I barely know anything yet. I have definitely not done a sprint, and I think there's a key reason to why I haven't done that yet, so I'll get there. I'm gonna talk about a few different things, mainly how I'm planning to learn Finnish, what I'm missing, my main goal, and my plans for next month. How I'm learning Finnish. So what I'm gonna be doing, my main things, I have 3 main plans. And the first plan is I'm going to be following a textbook called Colloquial Finnish. I have the ebook version as well as some audio files, the CDs that go with the textbook. And so far I'm actually really liking it because it's very centered around specific sentences and getting used to those sentences and structure. So I'm actually happy that I found a textbook relatively quickly that I don't hate. Second way is I'm gonna be doing Duolingo. For Swedish, I had also done the entirety of Duolingo. It's the first language I've actually finished an entire Duolingo course for, and so yes, I'm going to be also working with Duolingo and hopefully finish Duolingo this year, maybe. The third thing I'm gonna be doing is I would like to do a bit more immersion, so I'm actually going to be spending next month, the entirety of next month, in Finland. So I went to Finland. I just kind of like tacked that one on there. I went to Finland for 1 week in February, and I absolutely loved it. I decided, you know what, I have a month and a half left of my Schengen visa. I'm gonna spend it in Finland. And so, ska vi to Finland? We're going to Finland. Yeah. Of course, being in Finland, I'll be able to immerse and hear a lot more Finnish around me, but I think that I need a little bit more than that. I need subtitles and double subtitles comparison, so I'm gonna be finding some Netflix shows, especially in even kids shows. Maybe I can watch with Finnish voice, and maybe some Finnish Disney, and hear some things. I'm gonna be really focusing on getting used to Finnish now. Just like I did with Swedish, I had basically a whole year of just getting used to the sounds of Swedish and starting to understand what the language vibes like. I spent a whole year doing that, barely studying and just doing, that bit. So I actually don't perceive myself getting very serious into Finnish skills this year because I know how I learn. Which brings me to the next section, Finnish Projection. When it came to Swedish, essentially, I had 1 year of just getting used to the language where I was not actively studying, but I was watching things and consuming more Swedish content and getting used to the vibe and the feeling of how people speak in Swedish. And then I had 1 more year of intensive study, also in a language program that got me to C1. If you want to see more about that journey that I went through, then you can watch this video about how I got to Swedish C1. But I don't perceive myself doing an intensive Finnish course anytime soon, so I actually think, especially since Finnish is a more difficult language, or perceivably what people say, more difficult language than Swedish for an English speaker, I'm thinking that Finnish is going to take me anywhere between 3 and 4 years to get to where I want to be. My current goal is B2, so I think this year is going to be getting used to Finnish, Finnish sounds, getting used to the vibe and how people speak, understanding Finnish from an inward perspective more. That includes the cultural aspects of language, etc. And then the second will be building a base of vocabulary and a base of sentences. So base conversations, being able to go back and forth a little bit on a few things. And that's where my textbook and Duolingo are gonna come in. Maybe that's this year, and then next year I see myself actually studying more, but I don't want to rush it. So I think I'm gonna be doing like little sessions, maybe start doing tutoring. I'm not so sure, it kind of depends on how I feel at the end of the year, but I see myself going a little bit more deeply and doing another sprint next year in Finnish as well. After that, I think that's when things are going to get serious. I'm going to reach intermediate level by the third year, and then I'm going to start to really go ham on the immersion and acquisition phase of my language learning in Finnish. That's kind of like my vision of how it's gonna go. Hopefully, I'll be able to do what I say I'm gonna do, but we'll see how it works. Next section is my main goal. So my main goal, like I mentioned a little bit before, is that I want to get to B2, but I'm not sure, it kind of depends. Like, I'm really happy that I have C1 in Swedish, but I would like to perhaps get to a working proficiency in Finnish one day, because I see myself really doing cool jobs. Like, I have this vision of being able to test and try a lot of different things in my career and do a lot of different like big projects, work with a lot of different, for example, startups and places like that. And Finland would be an ideal place for me to do that. So I'm not sure if my goal will expand to C1 eventually, but at the moment my goal is strong speaking and B2 good eye about proficiency. Lastly, what I'm missing and what stopped me. So I'm a little bit at a standstill with languages right now, and the reason is because I don't have a vocabulary system. I know, I don't have a vocabulary system, which is quite terrible. I need to start crunching vocabulary, and while I was in Swedish class, we had Quizlet sets made for us. So because of that, it was easy to force myself to learn vocabulary. Going forward, especially things when I have like vocabulary lists, like for example professions, I really need a vocabulary system to start crunching stuff. And I've been meaning to move to Anki for a long time, but there's such a startup like bit to that, so I get a bit frustrated whenever I have to go and do that. And so I think that it's something that I'm really gonna have to focus on, is just sitting down and creating an Anki system. So maybe I'll make a video about that, at least if I figure it out. I'll show you guys what I did, and yeah, I'll let you know. If you have any suggestions for how you study vocabulary in a fun way but also an efficient way, or tips to starting Anki, of course we have our own video as well, because Anna is Anki Queen, so if you want to see her video, I'm gonna be watching it a lot over the next week. Yeah, that's basically my issue, and I'm gonna be trying to fix that in the next couple of weeks. Right? Thank you guys so much for stopping by to Gladly Global. It's great to have you here. I'm gonna be making an effort to making videos way more often, and also being more authentic with you guys on how I learn languages. Because I'm always telling you after the fact, but I'm never telling you as I go along. So that's a big goal of mine this year and in the future, is to keep giving you updates on how I'm doing things and what I'm studying, and also showing you how I study. Doing study with me is just being more present during my journeys, so that I can be a little bit more vulnerable and to really help you guys out there and help myself, you know? Yeah. Bye!